So it was about 11 years ago or so that I read C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity for the first time, and it changed my life. So for those of y'all who don't know, C.S. Lewis was a famous Christian author, famous Christian apologist. He wrote the books, The Chronicles of Narnia, and a lot of other popular level works. But in Mere Christianity, he pretty much tackles what is Christianity? What do Christians believe? What is it all about? So this is a whole lot more broad than Eastern Orthodox or Roman Catholicism or Protestant theology. He's really tackling what do Christians in general believe. But not only is he tackling that, he's really demonstrating the inner logic of the Christian faith. And that just blew me away. I just never saw it done before. Here you have a Christian who is tackling questions and objections that atheists and agnostics had. And as impressive as some of these arguments were, it wasn't so much the arguments themselves that made a lasting impression on me. It was the fact that there was a Christian that had arguments that just blew me away. I just never saw it done. I just didn't know it could be done. So I came from one of those backgrounds where blind faith was a virtue, pretty much. It's not that we shunned intellectual engagement so much. It was more so that there was just an indifference towards the intellectual dimensions of the faith. And so when you encountered atheists or agnostics or people who just had objections about Christianity, it was just almost like well, they just don't believe, and we do believe. And, there was just virtue in believing. And there wasn't really any space to engage in some of these questions and things of that nature. So encountering Lewis for the first time, it changed my life because I just discovered that there was a dimension to the Christian faith that I didn't know existed. Imagine walking into a mansion, right? And in that mansion, there's many rooms, and all of these rooms represent some aspect of Christian theology. So you have Christology in one room, and you have the doctrine of humanity in another room, and you have the church in another room, right? And you walk into one of these rooms, and it looks familiar, but then you open up the closet door, and you fall into Narnia. Like you discover that there's a whole nother world in that room that you thought you knew. That's what reading Lewis was like for me. I had no idea that there was so much more to who Christ was, who God is, who we are in him, what he's doing throughout the course of history. Coming to the realization of all that it increased my faith. It gave me a confidence and an assurance about who God was, what Christianity was all about. And it gave me a boldness and a confidence to share my faith with other people. And it just filled me with awe and wonder, really. And I knew in that moment, I have to do this for other people. I want other people to feel what I feel. I want Christians to feel what I feel. I want skeptics who are curious about reality and curious about Christianity to really have a space to wrestle with some of those questions and to really taste and see that God is real, that he's good, that he's beautiful, that he's true. All that to say, introducing Words of Knowledge. I created this channel to create a space where Christians and curious skeptics alike can think through some of their questions and be exposed to some of those more technical theological ideas that can be sometimes hard to understand and explain, and pretty much just make some of those technical concepts accessible to people. So if you're interested in diving deeper into the Christian faith, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more episodes. Till next time, grace and peace. Soli Deo Gloria.